So guys, you probably heard by now that HBC might go bankrupt. So what does that mean for us? Who knows? Two locations inside Hudson's Bay, one in Toronto, one in Ottawa. So our fate is in their hands, and we're gonna find out in approximately an hour from now what they plan on doing with those locations. Are they gonna shut down, or are they gonna keep it open for the year for 2025? So we'll see. One thing I'm going to be talking about today is the fact that Hair Public is not listed as a creditor in their court filings. So I need to make sure that there's a plan of action, whether we're going to recoup some of the money they owe us for January and February sales. Not a lot. They owe us about $40,000 right now. So we'll see where that goes. I am planning on going to the site in the next 24 hours to see if I need to plan ahead. So we'll see. One thing that we have in place with Hudson's Bay when we first negotiated our terms was that we would share a percentage of sales, which was a nice value proposition for us because, working with a new partner, working in new markets allows us to mitigate a lot of risk. And that was very beneficial for us, especially the Sherway location. If they are going to stay open for, let's say, 12 months or 24 months, I think we should be in a good position to renegotiate those terms. So
I'm with you. I'm all ears. I apologize I was late to it. My intention was not to kind of waste your time.
Oh, I get it. Is it just us two, or will you have somebody else joining us today?
No, it's just the you and I. I figured this week's objective would just be to pick up, where we're at. Obviously, talk about the actions from Friday, what we've been working on. Generally, our reemergence plan that's being kind of has been worked on since really Friday evening straight through the weekend and this week. But a lot of it, to be honest with you, John, is going to be like kind of wait and see to see how Monday transpires. Monday is the comeback here. And so if you want, let me just go backwards and go. I apologize if you're knowledgeable and familiar with this position already, but yeah.
I've been keeping track of details of this 10-day race period you guys have right now, and Monday is the
comeback meeting.
The comeback meeting, okay.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously, and then obviously we need to chat about the monies related, but ultimately, Friday we filed creditor protection. We'll bring that shortly before 6 p.m. That creditor protection starts the beginning of that day. So even though it was filed just before 6 p.m., it covers the entire day. But monies from Thursday earlier are part of a state of proceedings that are parked. Now I've had a variety of conversations in the last week or so, licensee, concession, consignment, wholesale, but all monies are parked from out of Thursday earlier.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I guess all the money that is being retained right now is under control by a third
party appointed monitor. It's a third-party company, Alvarez and Marcel. Yeah, they too have a website that they're keeping up with all public record, but there's kind of like two things I'll be kind of navigating through, right? Pre-filing, which is what I just referred to, is pre-filing obligations are stayed. Post-filing, Friday 12:01 onward, which is kind of by court order, we're required by law to pay for post-filing obligations for goods and services. Yours is a service, of course. I've been working for most of the week on that. And really what I wanted to achieve is really a couple of notes via an email or documented letter with assurances from the monitor and our internal external counsel of how and scheduling wise, how you'll be paid. The challenging part for me, John, is not that will be paid or won't be paid for Friday onward. The challenging part for me is every form of comms to our vendor community needs to get validated from my lawyer, our external counsel, and then the monitor for them to green light every sentence I'm saying to now share with you. So I would have hoped to kind of reach out to my entire license community and be like, hey, we filed for CCAA protection, pre-Thursday stayed, Friday onwards, we're required by court of law and the monitor to pay. This is how we'll pay. You let me know if you need to make any adjustments on either location, Bordeaux or Sherway. But that's what I had hoped to have achieved early in the week. But unfortunately, I'm still stuck and not able to send you that in writing because they're just checking the language. But it's also just validating if you're going to ship any payment terms, because I'm trying to do better than how we've been paying. I'm trying to just make it easy and give you weekly payments for the week prior in arrears. So it's at least some money flowing. And it's a bit of showing of good faith that we're going to kind of get through this a bit more frequently than waiting for the month-end settlement. But I don't have that confirmation from the monitor yet, which is why I haven't reached out. I'll pause there. I said a lot, but
Okay,
that's kind of
for sure.
where we're at.
For sure. So clearly there's a lot of things that comes to my mind. Accounts payable on your end, accounts receivable on our end, pre-filing what that amount is. We have a number. Clearly it is a lot for us. I know that we're not a listed creditor on the CCAA filing.
So yeah, you are.
Are we?
You're unsecured. You're an unsecured.
Unsecured?
Maybe you're listed.
Okay.
I'm just going to share my screen.
Okay.
So this is your Sureway line, right? You're on the creditor list for $24,460. Mm-hmm. Your Rideau line's not on here, which I believe it must have been current and settled. I'm not sure.
We still have some balance there for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I thought I'd grab everything here Republic, but I know Rideau as its own line.
Yeah, we have about almost $12,000.
Yeah, I'd have to, I mean, I don't know if I'm even going to be the one to check in, like if I can share a contact to make sure, yeah, the statement's up to date, but like I for sure see Hair Republic on here. I don't know what happened to the other line, but either way, you're on the list of unsecured creditors because essentially HO, secured creditors are our 4 lending partners. Everyone else, licensed partners, service partners, merchandise vendors, you can see the list, but it's there. Those are all unsecured, and how that kind of how that process shakes out through the court proceedings is really out of my hands. That's the reward monitor that will kind of eventually, once we get through these proceedings, however long it takes, there could be some recovery, there could be an offer. I don't know how that will transpire, and I don't have my hands on that part of it.
Okay. So whoever is going to be that person appointed to help those discussions, definitely let us know who that is, so we could have a plan of action for that, because that will also, dictate how things are moving forward, right? Because for us, looking backwards is one thing, but looking forward is another. So as of post filing, what does that look like for Hair Republic in Ottawa and in Toronto? Are we looking at potentially having to close as a result of your stores closing? If that's not the case, I know you don't have a lot of these answers right now, but if it does close, we have...
I'll give you guidance. I know that's all part of your email, but part of our reemergence plan, I apologize to interrupt, John, but I'm just trying to give you context on the subjects you're bringing up one at a time. Part of our reemergence plan that we've been building really since Friday is obviously a downsizing of our current 80 stores.
Yeah.
Now, what that list looks like, store by store, mall by mall, is really another EC stream is working on the nuts and bolts of that. I don't have that list today. You don't know how much it impacts you, even if, well, I shouldn't say even if, when that list comes out on Monday, and if the reemergence restructure plan is approved by the court, that list will be public knowledge, but I'll reach out to you right away in the sense of Sherway's and Rideau's position. Now, even if Sherwin and or Rideau is not part of the go forward list, the non-go forward stores will go into liquidation immediately, and that's like a 10-12 week cycle. I mean, our liquidator has kind of shared guidance of how long that process lasts, so it's not like doors are being locked overnight.
Yeah.
They will very well go into liquidation rather quickly, and then we'll share as much insight as early as possible in the process, because I know there's definitely be an impact, obviously, if those 2 locations are part of the non-go forward list. I got to let you know so you can plan and adjust accordingly. And if they're part of the go forward list and the plan's approved, what does it look like? Either way, we need to talk again when I have more. Yeah.
So 10, 12 weeks is not a lot of time. Does that mean that for us, we would have to move all of our assets out and then transfer all of our inventory, everything out to a new space? I mean, luckily, Ottawa, we can move things around. It's just our Toronto location is a bit more problematic because the Shoreway is a new location there, right? Our new...
Yeah, I mean, generally, again, I don't want to speak out of turn here, John, until I really get the list and you'll back up again. So I'll make sure to come to you as soon as I have more information. And I don't want to speak out of turn, but we'll have to come up with a plan. Like I'm saying 10 or 12 weeks. I don't wanna mislead you to say that I know anything. I don't. I'm just saying this is as a human being.
I get it.
Yeah, my gut is telling me that Sherwin Riddell will not be part of the list and they will go forward.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't want to tell you that, and I mean, if you're not thinking about planning, if that is not the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like when I look at the P&L from the whole store group, that those type of stores that you are in are generally where the meat and potatoes is of our business, right? We're anchor mall tenants in newer locations with a lot more energy and foot traffic within those stores. Rideau's a bit tougher than Sherway, but Sherway's a prime example of a store that we would flourish on a reemergence plan if we strip ourselves from a lot of the debt we have, bad leases we have. Yeah. A store like Queen or Vancouver downtown could be a bit more complex answered. So I think it starts with sharing a list, and then hopefully there's not, but if there is impact to those locations, then what do next steps look like?
Yeah. So if there is a probability that those two locations are no-go list, and those assets, they're still considered ours, right? Like all of the built out, all the furniture, we can go in within the 10 to 12 weeks to start moving those assets out, right? It's not essentially
I just have to be bound by what our contractual arrangement is. But in the contract, if they're all your furniture elements and pieces, absolutely, yeah.
okay.
Only thing I would ask is anything, because I had a lot of disruption with some partners over the weekend. Anything that is being removed from the store just needs to be done a certain way. We need to have a alignment and then like a written notice from you saying, hey, we're going to do X, Y, Z. We're sure way I'm making this up. Yep. And it just needs to be done in an orderly fashion. We're going to create as little to no disruption to our store associates as possible. But there's a process generally spoken about in place, but contractually all the assets are
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. You think for sure back from how we can take them back from just need to like tick and tie the timing and the process and stuff.
Okay. That's fair enough. Now, if there are locations that are going forward, the time frame for that is still unknown, right? Whether you guys stay active for another 12 months or 24 months, that's still very unknown. It's going to be up to the investors, the buyers, correct?
Yeah, absolutely right. I think for me, I generally feel that we could probably put a proposal in place and have confidence that we can operate four-wall EBITDA positive in like in or around 30, 35. It could be 30, it could be 40, but generally around that door count.
Yeah.
Operate with a leaner staff, but we can, I feel like Hudson's Bay is an iconic institution. It's been around for a long time. Major missteps and kind of some other economic pressures have kind of put us in, unfortunately, in this position. But I feel confident that there is a plan in place for us to operate in 30 great malls in the country and more like Mapleview, Square One, Sherway, Yorkville's of the world than
Yeah.
Forging Mall, Oakville Place,
Gotcha.
World. So generally, I think, I hope I'm answering all your
I
questions.
get it. Now, if it does go forward and there's a pathway for success, I would like to be able to work with somebody like yourself to look at some of the terms that we have in place. For example, you retain a certain percentage of sales, right? Can we look at those numbers up because these are different premiums that you guys might not be able to command. And for us too, to kind of recoup some of those losses as a result of this chaos, right? There's a lot of people right now that are not booking with us as a result of uncertainties, just so you know that. There's a lot of staff members that are asking whether they should be getting new jobs as a result of the uncertainties, right? These are just realities, especially the team in Toronto.
On that comment about either rate reduction or a review or any amendments that you're proposing to make, once we have the store list and we kind of know what the path forward is, I'm open to the discussion always. And I've always had a lens to try to be the best partner I can to work with you on what's fair for both of us.
I can see that.
Yeah, and sorry to say it might sound corny, John, right? We win together or not at all, right? Like, I'll get it. Do anything that's a benefit to me. Yeah, if it's a detriment to you, we need to do this together.
Yeah.
Having said that, while we're under protective order, anything of monetary change, and it could be a rate from 18 to 17, needs to be court approved.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to start a conversation with you when we know more, and for sure you have the information about the store list to then kind of bring forward, and we can have a bit more of a formal meeting to talk about any amendments. I hope I've given you enough information for today to start ideating on your side of what you'd be looking for, and then we'll work with you.
Okay. Another big thing too would be to have the ability to control our own cash flows as well, right? Meaning instead of using Hudson's Bay POS, give it to us and let us use our own so that we can report back to you on a monthly basis, pay you on a timely fashion. Every 30 days, we can agree to a reporting structure. You get your percentage back. We pay you. That way allows us to be a bit more cash flow positive.
I think that's a fair approach, John. And again, I'm kind of synced in with a very shorter list of licensees and service providers, but they've offered the same thing. It's just, if I were to go to the POS route and allowing you to install, I don't know, Square terminals or what have you, the whole remittance back to us needs to also be court approved.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to, I'm open to listen on that as well. I can expect why you would ask for that. I'm comfortable with what the tracking would need to be and how collaborative we need to be. Like the sales need to be entered. There's a lot of components to it, but the sales need to be entered by the store every day to roll up to our kind of number.
Yep.
And then the remittance back to us needs to be a bit expedited. And I know I'm asking and saying for that when we've been the opposite of paying you up until this point.
Right.
But I just need it all tied up with the monitor. But I'm open to kind of have a combo about that.
Okay.
What I would hope for is, like I said a few minutes earlier, right? Like if I can get the monitor to agree that, hey, we're going to pay you every week on Fridays for last week's arrears, at least that should take away the immediate pressure that you're getting money faster.
Right.
Right. But anyways, I need to offer that in writing and get appointed monitor signing off of.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I need cash moving from me to you faster than ever before because of the bind we've put you in.
Yeah.
It's just for me to offer that to you contractually, or it's not
get it.
contractually in writing. I get it. I need the co-port to say yes. Okay.
So let's just wait until Monday. Hopefully there's some good news for us. I guess you'll be the first one to let us know within 24 hours of announcement, or?
I assume you'll probably fit in, John. I hope, with all due respect, I try my best to get to as many people as possible. I might be able to get to you later in the week, but there's a lot of vendors under my purview. Yeah. You might hear it in the news before you hear from me directly. I'll try my best to get out to you. It's just the other nuance, and I may have touched on it, but like, any com needs to be then validated by my counsel, external counsel, and the monitor. So even if I'm like, hey, I meant to send a note to John about we're closing X stores, this is our path forward. It needs to be approved, and that's what's caused a bit of the delay in trying to get to you. But I can tell you with the utmost certainty that starting Friday onwards, because you continue to operate in those two stores, starting Friday onwards, we are legally obligated to pay you, and it needs to be monitored. So we're working through, I'm tracking sales by day. I have other finance partners, and right now our position is to pay you to termed, which is like monthly settlements. Okay. But I'm trying to expeditiously get it to weekly on Fridays for last week's arrears, just to make it more simple for me to manage all of you and to get money moving, so you kind of hang in there with us.
Okay.
So I'll have more information for you next week. I can give you my mobile. Sometimes it might be late, it might be early, John, but if you want to text me and saying, hey, did you have time? As soon as I have a moment, I'll pick up the phone. So send me a text saying, hey, it's John, and I will save you. And again, I'll do my best to reach out to you as early as possible, but we'll be in touch next week.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thanks for the update for today. Appreciate it.
Sorry I was late, John, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your...
No worries, man. Take care. Good luck. So that's that, guys. I don't know. I mean, it's still unknown. He does provide a bit of confidence. I feel like there could be a pathway to success, but we won't know anything until Monday. So we'll see. I am going to go down to Rideau today and see what the sentiments are right now. So here I am at the Rideau location, Friday afternoon. The place is, I would say, it's business as usual. There's still a lot of activities. I would say similar activities that I'm used to anyways. We decided to keep this location open today. As you can see, there's only one hairstylist working. Yeah, to kind of keep things vibrant, we kept it open today. we were reassured that any payments coming through is court ordered to make payment. So that's why we kept the salon open today.